Trump's tariff threats are forcing Canadian politicians to consider making big changes, from trying to remove interprovincial trade barriers to rapidly diversifying our trade partners. And my next guest also says Ottawa should be doing more to improve what's called the right to repair. That means making it easier for individuals and third-party repair companies to fix things in Canada rather than sending them out of the country. Anthony Rosborough is the co-founder of the Canadian Repair Coalition, and he also teaches law and computer science at Dalhousie University. And he joins me this morning from Halifax. Anthony, good morning. Nice to see you this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
For those who don't know what the right to repair means, what exactly is it?
The right to repair is a movement that seeks for greater access to the parts, tools, information, and software that individuals like you and I, but also independent businesses, need to repair and maintain all of the things that surround us.
So when we're talking about industries, what type of industries would be impacted by the right to repair?
There's too many to name, but a couple examples would be in agriculture is really, takes a lot of the credit for this. So agricultural equipment that's used on farms is one area where the ability to repair those machines is very difficult. And Canadian laws, as well as US laws, make that very complicated, as well as medical devices that we rely on to save lives in hospitals. So those are two areas of really critical infrastructure that face a lot of repair restrictions.
So there are barriers in place that are making it harder for these things to be repaired within Canada. Can you give us an example of an item, let's just say in the agriculture industry, and how that would play out and how the right to repair would make things a little bit easier for that?
Absolutely. And part of this problem comes down to just the widespread computerization of almost everything around us, right? And so agricultural equipment, just like our smartphone, is a computerized device that has a lot of different components to it. And so if there's something that needs replacement or repair, often that requires some interaction with the software. And so one of the big impediments are Canadian intellectual property laws that restrict who can access the software to understand, first of all, what's even wrong with the device. And then second of all, if let's say a part needs to be replaced, to sort of tell the computer to approve or authorize the repair and allow the machine to work as normal again. And that type of technology, that type of arrangement exists not just in agriculture, but even in the smartphone in your pocket, in the car in your driveway. So this is a technological design that's become very, very common.
So how would improving right to repair legislation help Canada and Canadians, but also become more resilient in the face of these looming tariff threats from the U.S.?
Absolutely. Well, so repair is overwhelmingly, and there are exceptions, but it's overwhelmingly a local effort. So when we spend money on repair, we're spending money on local services, local jobs, local skills. And so one way of expanding our resilience is by keeping our money in our Canadian economy. And so by supporting repair, we're supporting the people right here in our communities.
What are you hearing from people in these different industries about the need to make these changes right now?
We're hearing, it depends a lot on the industry, but we're hearing a big call for the provincial governments to step up, and there's a lot left undone in terms of policy at the provincial level for consumer protection law to play a much bigger role than it currently is in the right to repair. And, we're seeing these pictures of all of the Canadian premiers standing side by side in unity. And I can't think of a better time to sort of task them with making the right to repair a bigger part of their conversation, where they're talking about getting rid of interprovincial trade barriers and these types of restrictions. And, coming together and having a harmonized approach to the right to repair seems to fit really well with where we are in this moment.
Do you think the federal government can be doing more as well? And if so, what could they possibly be doing?
Absolutely. So the federal government has done some things in the last couple of years. We've seen some progress in Canada that we should be proud of. But there's still a lot left undone in terms of, for example, having a scoring system, a repairability index, it's sometimes called. And this is a way that products and devices can be given a repairability score based on their ease of repair. And that can be displayed to consumers and even commercial purchasers at the time that they decide to purchase certain equipment. So we can then make repair part of the purchasing decision. Another area is to kind of further, relax some of the intellectual property laws that have prevented third-party manufacture of parts and components. Because a lot of the devices that we rely on, whether they're industrial or even consumer, they rely on foreign-made components. And we have domestic manufacturing capacity in Canada to take that on and to supply us with the replacement parts we need. If we could, have some intelligent, common sense approach to intellectual property that allows us to have that type of resilience.
Anthony Rosborough, thank you so much for your time this morning. Anthony Rosborough is the co-founder of the Canadian Repair Coalition.